guys, welcome back. I just thought you might like this kind of storm energy. I got up at 11:11, so achievement unlocked, I guess. Demons are strange and wondrous creatures. I spent last night doing more research. And it's hard for me to do research because the way 99.9% of people work with demons, I refuse to. I can't. Maybe because I worked with Voodoo and Law first, and some people would say, well, why don't you make certain connections? I can't. I can't use their sigils. To me, it's like a command. And I'm not going to yell at them or command them or anything. I feel bad if I even raise my voice with them. I treat them differently than I treat the gods. I treat them with the same level of respect and love and the same kind of working relationship. I feel bad yelling at them. I will yell at Odin and Loki because it seems to be the only thing they understand. I go, yeah. And Odin and Loki behave differently with me, alright? Usually if you treat the gods well, they'll treat you damn near as equals. They'll treat you with respect and they'll love you. And, they're still the god and they will knock you on your ass occasionally if they have to remind you. But they usually treat you with a fair amount of respect, and so do the demons, but you know what other horrible creatures humans are, so with them, I try not to raise my voice. I try not to yell. Asmodeus and I have had some arguments, but we both keep our voices at this level so we don't scare each other. It's like the oddest kind of argument. I think you should do this. No, I'm not going to do that. Well, I really think you should. Well, I really think I'm not going to do that no matter what you tell me. But last night Asmodeus got all fussy and he wanted everything in the house a certain way. My friend that's going through the cancer treatment, she's having a really rough time lately, and she's having a really sore throat. And they can't figure out what this is. And I already rode this horse twice. Both my parents died of cancer. And I said, well, baby, you gotta eat. I know her throat hurts. I know it's burning her. I said, but you still gotta eat, or you gotta get insured. They're going to put her on they'll put you on a feeding tube, and you will get to have this feeding tube at home. Oh joy! And my father had one, and they're not fun. And it's a lot of work, and I trust her to do the work. But usually by the time people get put on a feeding tube, it's pretty serious. And I said, honey, I want you to please try to eat. I know the throat hurts, but I think she knows. I didn't want to tell her, but I'm like, well, they're not going to give her a magical IV bag. They're going to have to put her on a feeding tube. So I was talking to the gods and goddesses and even the demons, and it just didn't feel right because I always, always, always pray to her God for her. I'm like, go to the source, right? This is a deity that should be taking care of her and seeing to all of her needs. But when I decided I really don't believe that he's all powerful and all over the place, and I have this on again, off again relationship with believing in Jesus, I didn't think it was proper to go and talk to him. And Asmodeus is just going around in Asmodeus crazies. And Asmodeus demands I do this, that this is the way things have always been done. It's a tradition now, and I have to go talk to her God whether I believe he can do anything or not, because this is the proper thing to do. He likes everything just so. He likes everything just so. And so I go and I talk to God and I explain what's going on with her. And while I have God on the phone, I'm going to say everything else I'm thinking too. And I made any apologies to him, and I made any apologies to Jesus, and I said, you're not abandoned. I don't know if I even believe in you or not, but you're not abandoned. And you would think demons and other gods would celebrate, right? But they've all been abandoned by their people at one point or another, so they all seemed really super hyper agitated last night. So I was like, okay, we'll do it like this. I don't understand you. I will never understand you. You were all throwing a party when I wasn't going to do anything with God or Jesus. But then the moment my friend needs help, you're all changing your mind. So I don't know if it's just a thing. It seems Asmodeus is indicating keep a good enough relationship so that when somebody who works with this God is in trouble, I can go talk to them. Or what it is, because I said, we're just going back around in a circle, damn it. I just got away from this. What are you doing? And, I hate even, saying that to them, but They're strange. They're strange. Maybe because they want to be seen as demons, it helps the relationship somehow for me to keep some kind of concept of God and Jesus. Maybe because something else. Maybe because whoever's cosplaying God isn't ready to come out yet. I'm pretty damn sure Jesus was Belial. I'm almost 100% convinced he was. I am not quite sure yet. And I said, and I get, yeah, huh? Because I had this insight this morning that God doesn't want to come forward. So I don't know what's going on. If they had me talking to a demon, if they had me talking to God, or look, he's like, keep making air quotes, see where it gets you. Um, you know, it's usually a warning. Or what it was. And there are days I am stone cold convinced that God, I won't do it again, that God was Loki or that God was Odin. I am absolutely stone cold convinced. And then there are days I have ideas that he's one of the other demons. Oh my god, I tried to look up which demon it was yesterday with the tarot cards, and I got what did I get? 4 or 5 of cups. Which one is the one with the couple on it, and there's 4 or 5 cups around them? Whichever one it was, and I kept looking it up, and I kept getting all these demons that sounded worse and worse, because I went on this one gentleman's site. I won't mention the site, because I always get burned by the shit and protecting you. And he has a tarot card correspondence for every demon. Well, most of them, it seems, share the same damn card, and each one sounded worse than the last one. And I'm like, well, sounding better and better. Why would I want a demon that does this? And he has a style where he emphasizes the very worst they do, but then they show up in possession, and it's like they're practically baking cookies and shit. It's like, why would you advertise them like this? I'm never going near that one or that one or that one. I was pointing them out to Asmodeus, and I was like, I'm never dealing with that one and that one and that one. Seriously? There's a demon of that? No. So not getting a little tail wags. Because you know Asmodeus, he looks his lessons. He's like, okay, you're working with this one, and this one. Good choices. So, so if I have angry demons of whatever show up in my house, I'll know. But the thing that was so hard of identifying Bilal was that with most people, he seems to have serious anger management issues, and I'm getting this really nice soft-spoken demon that has never once shown up as two angels in a fiery chariot. But as I was digging and digging and digging, there was this woman that I'm very wary now. I got really burned in heathenry, but she said he'll show up like anything. She's experienced him showing up like anything, so I'm like, that makes more sense. And he indicated last night he felt all sorry for me, but they also indicated that there's power in ritual, and that since I had prayed to God and Jesus, sorry baby, prayed to God and Jesus so much, they wanted that continued. So whether those prayers are going to God and Jesus, which cut it out, or they're going to Belial and whoever this other demon is, though I'm thinking it's the old man, because the old man loves to play with his people. He adores his people and he loves to play with them. Anyhow, wherever they're going, it's a tradition. I am expected to keep it up. I said, well, we're not going to church anymore, are we? Because I officially can't stand any of those sermons, because I realize they're all cookie cutter sermons. They're all the same exact thing. And the UU church, for some reason, is, absolutely obsessed with poetry and has poetry in every single sermon, which sounds beautiful until you find out what their taste in poetry is like. And I'm like, I've never heard one poem dedicated to the old man. That's what I'm seeing here. And it's kind of like they want to have God without having God. They want to have Jesus without having Jesus. This is kind of weird nebulous thing where God doesn't exist, but he does. He's like a certain cat. It's like, my brain's hurting. Do you have an actual God or don't you? Some of them do, some of them don't. Because remember, this is a church where everyone gets to go. So, God-fearing people, atheist, Satanist, you can see that it could either come out to be a beautiful thing or it's trouble a brewing, right? Because after you make, they don't ever show it, but after you make your sermon, there's supposed to be, at least from what I understand, a time for people that don't agree with you to stand up and say they don't agree, because it's supposed to be a circle, not a, like a big priest on top and everybody else on the bottom. Can you imagine the atheist standing up when the Christian preacher preaches, and the Christian standing up when the atheist preaches, and the Satanist in the background? This is all bullshit right here. And the Lokean who just wandered in because they heard there was free food, being like, these people are crazy. Getting cheers and hoots of laughter back here. But, I think Asmodeus was taking me to church to just get the church out of me, and he knew I'd recognize repetition. He always tells his people, well, not his people, I don't want to sound vainglorious, but he always tells the people he works with certain things, and to look for repetition, and to notice things, and to notice patterns, and things like that. This is all very important to him, because he can be very incredibly fussy, but luckily for me, he understands what essential tremors and being legally blind means. So when I set up a VR temple, he's happy with whatever I'm able to accomplish. So, it's been interesting. I don't know what they're up to. I really don't. I just know the old man has a sneaky smile on his face because we're going to have a thunderstorm. So happy Voden's Day. So we're going to have a thunderstorm today, and it's like he's dancing and cheering. And I'm working towards things I won't mention until they happen. But I am working towards things, and I just mentioned that I'm working towards things because then when I tell you, hey, remember I told you I was working towards something, you'll know, and you'll see the amount of time it took to work. But I take everything I read with a grain of salt because I got really burned. And I don't work the way other people do, so, I do go through times of, are there even demons here, because I won't use sigils. I know there are ones on the front door that they refuse to let me take down, but I won't use sigils. I won't use that. I won't find them. I won't use circle. I'm sure as hell not going to have holy water in the house, except for there is some up in the cabinet from Lourdes, but that's for last rites, because once a Catholic, always a Catholic. No matter how bad I act, I could still have the magical power of giving last rites and hearing confession. Yeah, neat, huh? So I could go on a killing spree and still hear your last confession. It's one of those damn superpowers that never expires. And I'm like, you know what? As a witch, I'm keeping that. I can bless literally anything. We had a priest tell us, and my mother and father told me this in all seriousness. If you're a Catholic and you're dying on the battlefield, just spit or use your own blood and bless yourself and do your last confession. You can hear your own confession too. Say you're hardly sorry to yourself, and you got the fast pass to heaven. I'm like, this is the damn weirdest religion I've ever been in, and I'm officially what, a Satanist, Lokean, something now. So, and I got giggles back here. But it's been a wild ride. There are so many people out there, so many people. Anyhow, and we've been seeing the news, and I've just been being like, well, that's interesting, and Odin's kind of pulling me back. He doesn't want me joining the fray. He just wants me to watch things unfold, is what he wants me to do at this point. And it's surreal, isn't it? Oh, and Loki's poking me to remind you the demons are cringing. Have you ever seen a movie called The Apple? I don't know how I ever lived without seeing this piece of trash. Oh my god, it's like if the cast of Cats, and I mean the new Cats, did acid and cocaine and LSD all at once in the musical. Holy fucking Christ. There were people in the comments section saying it was fueled by a lot of cocaine. I'm like, no fucking shit. I'm putting a link below. I'm pulling a link below. And I'm watching it, absolutely appalled at how trashy it is. And now I have to see the whole thing. This movie is now my obsession. I don't know how I missed this. It is trash. I thought I saw every cocaine fueled movie out there. Oh my God, you guys got to see this. And I put it on the Demons private playlist. And Asmodeus asked real timidly, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Now I have something to punish bad demons with." I said, "Now I've seen hell and I know what it's like." It is so fucking terrible. Oh Lord. It is bad. And I only found it because of one of these weird things where I came across this actor that, the actor in the Pet Shop Boy, always on my mind, came across something for him, and somehow I looked him up, and the apple came up, and that's how I found it. I'm hearing something get cut, but I know it's not my grass. So somebody's out there cutting, even though we're going to get thunderstorms today. So people are crazy. But if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.